Hello, there we are.
So yeah, I noticed yesterday you have a new hairstyle. You look.
There you are. What's that?
I noticed yesterday I didn't have time to say anything, but you have a new look, new hairstyle.
New hairstyle. Men are so funny about hair. It's so interesting. Like if you do any little thing like curl it or put it in a ponytail, it's like, oh, it's a whole new. It's really funny. But
Because we don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't know if that's your natural hair or if you did stuff to it and stuff.
oh, that's interesting. Well, my hair's naturally straight. I just curled it.
Oh, okay.
But what about those girls who like have wigs and every single day it's like a brand new, you know what I mean? Like some people have like a whole different, like it'll be short, long.
And some women that have curly hair, they straighten it. And those that are very straight, you curl it. So it's.
I know. We like to throw you guys off.
Yeah, or you get bored of it or something, and you want to try different things.
Yeah.
What
It's not like permanent. That's the thing I think men don't understand. It's like if your hair's in a ponytail, like that's going to be your look for the rest of your life or something. It's like, no, it's just right this moment. You know what I mean?
How you feel.
It's not like, oh, I'm going to have a bun from now until, next year. I don't know. It's just funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how long does it take? How long does it take to get your hair like that?
Curled? Not long, like 15 minutes, 10 minutes or something.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Yeah. I was running. I'm a little like, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk. Well, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
One thing that's really becoming clear is just, I'm getting so spread so thin with time. And so that's been a little bit of an issue. The Google Docs, I don't understand why they can't just download it.
Google Drive, yeah, because Dropbox is very common here in the US, but it's not as common overseas. And this person is in the Philippines.
Right.
And Dropbox is asking them to subscribe, to pay, while Google Drive
so that's going to take me more time is all, just because I don't have, so now I have to like get versed on all that, and my Google stuff is a mess, and then I have to go through the password thing. So I'm just being honest with you, like these little things are very time consuming.
Yeah.
Especially when you can just download it off Zoom. It's like that would be the quickest, most time effective way for me, but then I put it in Dropbox, and then now I have to do Google. So that's going to take me a little time to figure out.
Yeah, let me try.
And let me ask you this though. You say it's a guy in the Philippines. So are you having an editor edit it from Fiverr?
Yeah.
Well, there's I've researched a lot of cons about Fiverr. I don't know. So something to think about. Have they already edited anything?
Yeah. So I have like 4 or 5 videos in TikTok that they edited, and I agree that there could be scams in Fiverr. This one in particular, I've already worked with her for a few months, 2 or 3 months, and in some cases she's done work for me in advance, send me the videos, and then I paid her. Mm-hmm. So there's some trust there. I just met her, but I've worked with her for several months, and basically there's unless I pay her a whole bunch of money up front and then she disappears.
That's not what the concern is. The concern is that okay, so a couple things. The first thing is I had another client who hired them, and he's actually hired me now. I'm editing for him. I'm editing just because they started giving him, it's this cookie cutter, super fast, over edited, like stuff that wasn't really fitting his brand at all, but like, because they're just like a machine, you know what I mean? They don't care. And it's just kind of like, so that was one thing. The other thing that I've been researching through just like these influencers and stuff is that, sometimes you won't get monetized on YouTube because they're using, so many people are using Fiverr that a lot of the videos are all starting to look the same. And so when YouTube sees that, they flag it and they will not monetize your video.
Okay.
So just something to think about. I'd like to see more of what this person has edited, because if they have a different, because I kind of can already tell now the style, and now I know why some of these bigger influencers are editing their own stuff, or now they have editors that work for them, but they started out so that they would have it look like their brand. Even if it's similar to the stuff out there, it's a little bit different than the machine that Fiverr is.
Well, yeah, if you want, yeah, that'd be great. You can go to the TikTok account for Free Thinkers of the World. There's
I
like
don't
four,
have TikTok yet.
yeah, you don't have TikTok? Like,
Oh,
on your-
I gotta get it.
Yeah. So I just started, we're just starting all this stuff, but we have TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, all under Free Thinkers of the World.
Right.
And I have I have one person that's just focused on TikTok, because you have to do this very short videos.
Right.
And she puts subtitles, an introduction, like a heading and little things. I feel like it makes the video more fun for the younger generation, but I may be wrong. This is new for me as well. So if it does seem to be a cookie cutter thing, then we need to look at that.
It
And
just depends. I mean, I even had another Camellia, I think you met her in masterclass one time. She's got like, look at the touch, she changes her hair a lot too, but super curly hair, beautiful black lady. You met her once, I think. Anyway,
maybe
she maybe I shouldn't mention this since we're recording this, but she had a YouTube, she was starting a YouTube channel, and she sent me her first video, and it was edited on Fiverr, and I was just like, I mean, look, it's a style. There's something for everybody. So that's why you just have to go, what is my brand? And is this in line with my brand? Because am I McDonald's, or am I the Michelin restaurant? You know what I mean? Because there's room for all of it. Like, you see all of it out there. So it is a style thing, but her thing just came back so over edited and so like, and that's what I keep seeing. And then, so when I heard that from the influencers, I go, oh, that makes sense. And the
yeah,
other,
go ahead.
well, the other thing too, and I mean, I've been using a lot of Soundstripe and stuff because I've been doing it on my meditations, but I've also been getting original music from some musicians who've been contributing, because they want to get their music out. And I'm like, great. So as much as they give me, I put it out. And then the other stuff I buy off of those sites, the Soundstripe and stuff. It's not, and that the same thing they said for those. They said the problem is, they're like, it's not horrible because obviously everyone's doing it, but they said YouTube sometimes will even flag, even though I'm paying to have that copyrighted music.
Oh.
They'll still flag it sometimes for copyright, just because it's in another video and another video. It's in another video. If it's in another video that's viral or something, and then it's in your video. So see, you're like creating this inner competition kind of within your own. It's really weird. It's crazy. I'm learning so much. And then this weekend, I learned so much, which I want to share. But just to circle back really quick before I forget, because I think it's really important. And especially since my time has been spread so thin, I keep forgetting that we need to address this stuff so that we're clear.
Yeah.
We need to get like a contract in place, because one thing that also I'm concerned about is some of this stuff I've wanted to put out from classes anyway. Like I wanted to do that for years, but I haven't had the bandwidth because it's time. I mean, I'll just be honest with you, Mariano. I've been waking up at 2:30 and 3 in the morning and starting work every day.
Oh,
So like I'm working, like I don't have any more, like there's no more time right now. And I know this isn't going to be like this forever, but like I'm grabbing for straws for time. Do you know what I mean? So, like, what was I going to say? So I just need to make sure what I know, like we're putting out for FTW or what I can use for the studio so that we're like clear, because otherwise it's like kind of just, I don't know. And then the other thing that we have to be really careful about for you too, because I'm concerned about you and I know your budget and everything that you're trying to work with. Is when we roll out things to the students and what we're going to, hey, you can do this circle or whatever like that. We got to be careful not to pitch it like, hey, this is free. Because once we've said it's free, first of all, they don't have the value on it. And second of all, then now I'm fielding a bunch of questions. So now that my time is taken up again, because I don't have an assistant yet. So then I have people saying, well, what is this? And I thought that was free. And I wanted to do coaching, but instead I'll do this free thing. What is that? And then I go, oh, Mariano, I guess you're paying for that. But are you paying times each person? Are you paying for an hour? You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to get into that position. So we just haven't set that up. We got to like, do you know what I mean?
yeah, when we pitched that. Wow, okay. So it, for me, it was kind of like a hybrid between the writer's circle. Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, it's not, it's a good time to talk about this cleared up.
Yeah.
Where I paid to be in this producer circle a lot of money to be in that group. And it's like a one-time fee. And then I don't know if you're there for a year. So anyway, through this producer circle, you meet other producers, actors, writers, right? And then I get that creative side where one of them starts a free writer. So within this group that you pay, you have subdivisions, which the actual producer that gets paid, he says it's okay when there's no conflict, when somebody offers a different service, whether it's a writer circle, actor circle, if it doesn't conflict with his service and model, business model, then he actually feels it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I should have clarified that with you. I apologize.
No, and I agree with that. And I totally do agree with that as well. I know my students and I know how sloppy things can get really quick. And this is what I'm trying to clean up from my own. This has been a shortcoming for me as a business owner is that
but let me finish. So,
okay, go ahead.
So there's this thing where the writer's circle is free on Saturdays and I'm actually promoting it to your students because it's open. And so if one of your students says, oh, I want to look at the script and I want you to read it when you don't have any time left, you're waking up at 3 in, then I felt, oh, let me share this with this person. So that takes the load off you. And now they're seeing value in this master class. And so that was how I was thinking. What I'm doing is like a hybrid between not charging the actors, but paying for your time. So I always like I'm looking at in the future. Right now, I'm not making any income out of this recording, out of all this stuff that I'm doing is because I enjoy it and I feel like it's going to bring value. So just to be clear, what I was thinking is a hybrid of you are paid for your time, and maybe there's some pre-production time that we have to look at. So that's where you're saying, well, it's not just me turning on the Zoom and we have 2 hours of a actor circle.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be so basically I'm the production company and I'm hiring you for now. Maybe later we partner or something. But for now, I'm saying I want a director and a little bit of a coordinator because it's under your Zoom thing. And I'm paying for that time. So it's the 2 hours that you're there directing, coaching, and maybe an hour of pre-production time, something like that. So we can write that out for this actor circle, which is it's not Lea Marlene Studios. You're being hired as Lea Marlene, but it's for an FTW production, which we still can co-direct or co-host, or that's kind of like a more of a partnership thing, but you don't have to take the risk of why are we doing this and how much money it's going to cost, and we're not making any money off it. I just like the idea. So let's clarify that. And I think I did ask you, like, maybe I jumped the gun yesterday because she came up with this script that she wanted you to see, and I jumped the gun. But I agree, let's have an agreement. Let's say how many hours per week, in addition to our private and the other co-hosting that we're doing. We're talking about 3 or 4 hours a week. Maybe you're saying 5, and we have to also look at that. But now we're adding maybe another 3 hours. And then you have to decide, was it worth your time? I mean, every time you dedicate to FTW, not when it's mixed with technical stuff, we have to see what's for FTW and what's for, so yeah, it's kind of confusing a little bit.
Well, that's what I mean. And so I'm not like I want to be clear, like I'm still on the same page with you. I just want us to be very clear when we're talking to students, because I'm not clear. So when they're asking me a question and I don't know yet, because we don't even have the day yet or the thing, it makes it a little sloppy of a deal. Do you know what I mean? Everybody, for everyone.
But just that message is triggering.
Yeah. So but it's good because I think
there were two people in that class.
No, it's fine. I know I'm addressing it. Nothing's happened.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know.
I know how they operate. And this is where as a business owner, what I was going to say is my shortcoming and where I'm growing this year is I am in a bottleneck right now, in particular, just because it's like, I don't have the capital right now to hire a team. And yet I'm not having the time to do. So I'm in that weird catch 22. But one thing that I haven't set myself up very well yet is the boundaries. So I'm still getting text messages. So that's why I just know when I don't have something clear, I start getting messages. And now, a message here, a message there times 20 can take up my whole day.
But one thing we can look at, maybe we can share the cost of a coordinator. Like, you look at what are your bottlenecks are.
Yeah.
Whether it's like you get somebody young that's really good in social media, really good with Google Drive, Dropbox, TikTok, all this stuff. And you sleep until 4 in the morning because you already wake up and this person. But then we say, look, you're working half for Lea Marlene and half for FTW. So we share the cost of that, of somebody maybe they don't even have to work full time, but they work part time.
That could be really great, Mariano, especially as we're growing and like doing more of the like web series podcast, not web series, but the like on Zoom, what am I trying to say? Webinar Zoom.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that is.
It means that, like, okay, so say like we want to put on a webinar. The difference between webinar on Zoom and the classroom on Zoom is classroom, we all see each other all the time. On webinar, like you and I could be on, we could have 300, depending upon which service you pay for, because there's different tiers, but like say 100 people, we could have 100 people in this classroom right now live with us, but you only see you and me. And then if somebody raises their hand, then I could put their video on. But not everyone, the way that we're in class, you don't see everybody. So that way you don't see 100 people unless we had them put their video camera on. So you can do like live events and things like that with the web series. And it would be really advantageous if you and I are hosting to have a technical director that is fielding the comments, because people might be writing in the chat like, how can I get involved in the thing, or what about this event? And then you have somebody, because you and I can't be doing that while we're, you know what I mean? So then that person that we could potentially hire could be answering questions, fielding, sending the website link, while we're talking and stuff like that. Like, these are time consuming little things that you just can't run around and do it all yourself.
So let's use this time to understand, like, where are the bottlenecks? I mean, I know there's a lot with Zoom. You spend a lot of time with Zoom. Then maybe you're doing Dropbox, and
yeah.
But you're also getting new clients. Are you getting more business?
Yes, but and please don't share. Like, let's not broadcast this right now.
But you're recording.
Like, I know that. Let's not share it. I mean,
but you want to take out the recording?
Yeah, let's edit this out. Should we take off?
I would not be able to edit out. Just stop the recording for a little bit. Yeah, and you can record and not record when it's something we don't want to share. But right now, this is good for new business owners. I see this all the time with people that have a good quality service or product, but they don't know how to scale, and they don't know how to grow their business. So we start with, where are the bottlenecks, right? Oh yeah, because this is another thing. You have these amazing qualities, expertise, right? And if you're spending your time, 1 hour of your time in figuring out Zoom, when you have all this other talent of helping people and the way you communicate, the way you teach, then that's when it's not efficient. So first we write where are the bottlenecks? And by the way, I have some too. It's just I do have more flexibility, because I find somebody that has talent, and I kind of figure out what their skill set is, and then I just work an arrangement with them. But with you tell me, what are the things that are holding you back, that you're not an expert in, or that you really don't want to do? That's an example of, is it billing? Is it collections? Is it
yes. Oh my
inquiries?
Gosh. Billing and collections, handling all the billing and collections is huge. I mean, I have, I have an auto withdrawal system in place, so that's helped a ton.
Yeah.
So that's not like chasing down payments, but you still need somebody to keep on top of that, because sometimes a credit card doesn't go through, and then you got to contact that person still and get a new credit card. And so that can be very time consuming.
Yeah. So when I started, and also because I'm accredited, they forced me to get some processes in place. And one of the basic things is to have job descriptions. Mm-hmm. So when you find out, this would be like a job description for somebody, when you put an ad for somebody, and we can do this together, it could be part-time. We could start off as part-time and then decide when we go full-time. Especially, it might help you, like, now you're handling inquiries, you're converting these, and you also have to analyze, like, you're converting the leads into sales, right? So when we analyze this thing, where the bottlenecks are, you need to write this down. This would be part of the job description and the ad in LinkedIn, or what's the other one? There's another one that you find qualified people, or maybe you already have your own way of finding people that have certain expertise. So Oh, okay. Okay,
No,
well, that's
because I
fair.
haven't been good at this. I mean, this has been, honestly, I've hired some really nice people, but people that have actually been more time consuming than not. Like I had that like I ended up having to teach people how to do it and then show them and then I would do it. So I'm like,
Okay.
why am I paying this person? It's actually taking me 3 times as long.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
haven't been successful at getting the right people in place.
Yeah. Well, this is helping both of us because my business is growing. The language is, I don't know why it's growing, but it's growing. And my friend, my Christian Republican friend keeps telling me you should pay more attention to your business. So I will, I do, okay, just on a side note, we had a bottleneck in education. So I just hired an education coordinator for that because there was a bottleneck. So I am aware that there's a bottleneck and we hired somebody for that. So now I'm growing my team again. I used to have 50 people, then we went down. Now, so I'm doing what I'm telling, kind of giving you we found out where is the bottleneck. It was supporting the teachers, it was supporting the students, curriculum, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And my center director couldn't do all of that. So we said, okay, now we're growing, our business is moving, we're getting more inquiries, blah, blah. Where is the bottleneck? We found out this is where the bottleneck is. So we hired somebody. We've been getting a whole bunch of resumes. Oh, it's Indeed.
Oh,
Indeed, right?
okay. Mhm.
Yeah. Now I can help you out because it's helping both of us. I can put an ad based on some of the things that you need. There might not be exactly what I need, but there are cross things that in terms of the handling the recordings. So we're gonna figure out where we have overlap in bottlenecks, right? Like I don't have a problem with building collections, all of that, and handling inquiries. But we can have somebody that can do those. I think it depends how good they are. Sometimes if you have a social media expert, they don't necessarily know how to handle social media, but sometimes you do.
Mhm.
So okay, let's continue with your list.
So
Just
I
write
would
this
say
down. Write it down, and maybe you should write it down on the computer because then you can just email it to me, and you don't
yeah,
have to.
collections.
Yeah, building collections, handling inquiries, and I love to help. I mean, I love this. Makes me feel good when.
Well, this is amazing because this has been,
Yeah, you have a board of directors. You have, I don't know if you have mentors, but um,
well, this is what, no, I mean, unfortunately, I've been such a one-woman show.
yes,
That's been
that
a really
is such
big,
a that I invested with this other friend who has an amazing product, and I invested. Should I say the number? But can I get legally? Everything I say has to be. I think. Well, okay, let's just say I invested $70,000. Back in 2014. I still haven't gotten my return on investment, but yeah, I guess I'm not naming him. So he, she, or they, right? Uh, Invested $70,000. They have an amazing product for cars, and stuff. And he cannot delegate. He wants to control everything.
Mhm.
And this was in 2014. It's 2022, and still trying to do everything. And I haven't seen a penny out of my investment because now we don't talk to each other and all that. So I don't
Well,
want that to happen with you for sure. Okay.
no, I
Uh,
mean, I've paid, like I've paid a lot of people, but unfortunately I just didn't get the, and like I said, some lovely people, I'm not trying to put them down, just they weren't the right people. And
yeah.
that's why I've learned too that like I've got to separate. I can't be a coach to the people who work for me. You know what I
Oh,
mean? They need to be just doing what they do. I can't coach them as well. And that's what I kept hiring students and people who wanted jobs, who I thought were lovely people. But then I would end up spending hours like being their coach, basically for
yeah,
free, you
yeah,
know? And so that doesn't work. I can't do that.
yeah. No, no, of course.
Yeah.
There's a way to balance between, like, my team lifts me up
Mhm.
because they're on top of everything. Sometimes, they get off track and you just have to remind them. But okay, so without going through it, let's just right now focus on this list.
So these are the base, I have 5 things here. I have billing and collections, student support, inquiries, that kind of could go to, those two could be together, inquiries and
Yeah,
student support. Technical director dealing with Zoom, Dropbox, Google Docs, whatever, webinars. And then, social media, not, I put social media just because there's so much I'm not doing right now that, I could be doing, which is, the TikTok. I mean, I'm not even on LinkedIn, TikTok, LinkedIn, what is it? Instagram. I don't do Instagram.
YouTube,
Only one, and
YouTube,
then
yeah,
YouTube. So, I don't know. That's always been a confusing thing for me, the social media person, because again, I hired some people in the past and they would do stuff that I'm like, this is not helpful for my business. Like posting like happy Friday or whatever. I'm like, what am I paying you for? I could have posted that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like that didn't. So actually something I wanted to talk to you about really quick, and we can circle back to the list, but the thing I did this weekend with these influencers. I mean, oh my gosh, I learned so much in a free weekend that I want to buy their mastermind thing, but they would, in a way, fit this. The social media thing, I don't really need somebody posting. I need somebody teaching me how you grow this thing. Like really, and that not even a marketer, like people like those people who have built an audience, both for us to know, for FTW and for my own business. And I mean, this one guy that did the seminar this weekend, in only 5 years, he has 1.23 million subscriptions.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Subscriptions, followers or
Subscribers on YouTube.
so
One
subscribe.
point
Do you
million.
know how that works? Like, some subscribers are free. They don't. Where does he get his income through
So that's
commercials?
what they're teaching, and that's why I want to buy their thing. But they've been doing they did 3 free live sessions all weekend, 2-hour sessions, and then they've been going live every week in addition. But I did the math on it. See, they're smart. They're offering this service that's normally $5,000, but they're offering it for 2 right now. They've already signed up 130 people at $2,000 a pop. I'm going, these guys, like, yes, I love what they're doing, but what they're teaching is exactly what you're talking about, how they did it from zero on YouTube, like how I am right now, like nobody
Yeah,
cares, to 1 million people, and all their streams of revenue. And they have like 10 different streams of revenue. So one stream of revenue is once you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, you get monetized on YouTube, period. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, but that's a lot to get to. 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. So then you're getting paid from advertisers. Then that's one source. Then they're selling their products, right? So that's another source. Then they have classes that they've already, see, we could have a class, you and I could sell a class even through FTW or something. We record it once professionally and then sell it online for $50 over and over and over and over. And some of this stuff could be like our tech support person. So like say like student support, we could sell them a video We're like, all the questions that you have, we did a course on that. It's a separate course. Here, you can buy it for $50 or whatever, you know? And so then they have all those working for them around the clock. And then they also do retreats. They have a podcast and they do, you know, videos.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Oh, so those are like the 5 sources of revenue: subscribers, advertisers, buying less specific lessons,
Mhm.
retreats,
Retreats.
and what else?
They had more, but I don't know yet because see, they didn't tell us them all because they want you to buy into the thing, to their system. So I think I might buy it because I think it would be worth it. And they offer, one session a week of coaching for a year and all these different things, but they haven't revealed everything because they won't tell you everything. But it's pretty amazing, like how they built this. I mean, these guys are like 30.
Yeah, on that note, because I was buying some stuff and maybe I overextended myself, I paid for the app, I paid for the producer circle. So I would just make sure that you have the time to dedicate to the whatever you're buying, to the course and stuff. So I would yeah, we all need to develop ourselves and to keep learning. That's a huge thing for entrepreneurs and stuff. But also be careful not that you focus on the bottleneck. That's going to free up time. So right now.
Well, that's what it is. And that's what, why I like them, because see, I've paid for business coaches. I've paid for so many things, Mariano, that have not really helped. They haven't really taught me what I needed to do. And
more practical. Yeah.
Practical. And these guys, they get it because they're talking about exactly, I mean, they were laughing because one guy asked on the live session yesterday, some of these people are just starting out, one advantage I have is that I have been doing this. I just, have a bottleneck, but some people are just starting out and they're like, so should we do Venmo? Should we do? And they're like, are you kidding me? Can you imagine chasing down a Venmo transaction to 20 different people, all day long? They're like, that's the stuff that will kill you. That stuff, you don't even deal with it. You just have, it's like you sell them once, you're done.
Yeah, and they just keep recurring. Yeah.
Just like you said, they have all these systems in place. I haven't had a system. It's been Lea trying to
Yeah. No. I mean, the one thing you have to feel good about is that, again, you have this amazing, unique ability to teach and to make people improve their careers and make people feel good. And it's the other thing that doesn't help you grow. And people, the producer I spoke to, I asked him about the podcast and he goes, well, you have to dedicate a lot of time to the podcast type of thing. And you're already dedicating to all these lessons and private coaching and some of them, like me, we can post. And so you already have the time and then you're already recording it. So now you can, market that, for example. And then the same thing, you got people to sign on. I mean, these are oh yeah, that's the other thing. Tomorrow's a business consultant. I don't know if you have time, but he wants to talk to you. He wants to talk to some of the members because he's smart about it. He's a business consultant. He's not a business. He's a showbiz consultant. He knows about all this, how to promote the movies, how to promote podcasts and stuff. So, but he didn't want to just give me a proposal. He wants to meet the people that are involved in this project, which I thought, he doesn't just want to, here's my bill. He wants to understand what we're about and the people are working. So I really appreciate it. So even coming here to my home, he's doing it still for free. But if you're so busy, we can set up a Zoom or something for you to meet, or maybe in our next.
I mean, it's that one's tomorrow.
Yeah, 1:30 tomorrow.
I could do that tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna try to get Natalia, because Natalia's writing stuff. She's gonna write scripts for me and stuff. And then Anastasia is helping a little bit with the web. Okay, so that's part of my team, and then I have the writers and stuff. Okay. Now, going back to, yeah, your bottleneck. Okay, so finish this list, this list. It sounds like there's two separate things. You need somebody that has technical skills with social media, Zoom, web, webinar and stuff. And then you have this administrative person.
Yes.
So I'm trying to think. I mean, I have a bookkeeper that's part-time for, like, she handles payroll, like QuickBooks. You have QuickBooks?
QuickBooks, yeah.
Yeah, and she just works a couple hours every other week. I have two bookkeepers, one that works more regularly and the other one just for payroll. But yeah, I don't know, like, let's look at that list, and then maybe we have to separate it, because the part of social media, we can, I mean, I need one too for FTW. And then we can say, look, we want you to work on these two accounts, like YouTube, Facebook, blah, blah, for Lea Marlene. And you mentioned, maybe, are you going to keep that name, Lea Marlene Studios, or
Well, what I'm doing is I'm doing a new website that's gonna just be Lea Marlene. And then that will have all of my, so that I can be freelance, I can be whatever. And then we'll have the Nama Stage Theater as a separate nonprofit. And I'll still have Lea Marlene Actors Studios will be a service underneath
Yeah.
Lea Marlene, but that way it's like, it's just, that's who I am, instead of like, well, is it an acting studio or what is it? But that's my niche. My niche is that I'm like an acting coach, but it goes beyond
Oh, yeah.
acting. Yeah.
And
Because I think that's still a good niche, and also with the Meisner technique, because nobody offers that. And everybody else has like life coach or like whatever, but you're like, what is that really? And so I think to keep the acting thing is good. And plus I enjoy it. I love it.
yeah, and those techniques are very helpful for real life situations.
Yeah.
Role playing, emotional preparation, repetition with, I mean, yeah, so right now we're recording stuff, and I'm adding it to social media. Then you come up with ideas like this actor circle, which maybe I can help, like, I'll give you some ideas in terms of making it 2 hours once a week. You budget FTW for maybe 3 hours, 2 hours where you're directing, coaching, and 1 hour of pre and post stuff. The other, yeah, okay, so if that's it with the list, there are two things I think may happen with the small business owners, is that you also have to determine what gives you the best return for your time. Because some of these group classes, they take up a lot of your time, but maybe they're not generating enough income for you, type of thing, as other things.
Well, I've thought about this. I mean, it's like my group classes actually, in the long run, I make more, but I have thought about this a lot, because right now I'm in a place where I'm like, to start another 18-month group, and I'm going, I have a resistance there. So that's another thing. I'm like, do I want to start another 18-month group? I kind of don't. But I have to sit and go, well, what do I want to do? And I think it's to break it down into shorter, a 5-month, a 5-month, a 5-month. And maybe that could be something that FTW could produce potentially, or through the app, where we do one online, like a web, where we do it, and the people that are participating live know that they're going to be on camera, and then we just sell that thing online. It's like you get to take the whole Meisner technique, but not, you don't have interaction. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
maybe I'll answer questions or something, but like, it's all canned already.
Yeah. Um,
Because that's been an issue for me, because it's like, once I get tied up in a group, I'm like married to this group, and it's not necessarily new revenue coming in, especially if people paid, you know,
and
so
the
that
group is getting smaller.
they're getting smaller because people, you know, people want, well, that's it, that two things. That's why I want to get on YouTube. And that's why I want to reach a bigger audience, because then nobody cares. These people online, I mean, there were 10,000 people, Mariano, participating in this thing this weekend. And yeah, it was free, but that even tells me more, because most people don't value things that are free. And 10,000 people were on. So out of those 10,000 people, they got 130 so far, probably more now as of today, at $2,000 a pop. It's so worth it for them to put in 10 hours of free work, because they have that audience. So I haven't had that audience. People have been finding me from, I have no idea, nothing. I have done no advertising. I have done, you know what I mean? So my classes are smaller, because before people used to find me because they would literally come knock on the door. I'd be in the theater and they're like, oh, this is cool. A lot of my students found me that way. I don't have that anymore.
I'm thinking something, it's amazing. Like you're not able, yeah, you have to kind of also analyze, there's some metrics, and you analyze what type of courses are giving you the highest returns, right? And I hire consultants, we go over the P&L, you know, profit and loss, and we look at the metrics and blah, blah. And then we tweak the programs, we tweak the pricing, we scrap some programs, we focus on, right now we're getting executives, we're paying, like some of these executives are paying $8,000 just for 1 month of studying, you know, one executive. And now we have 3 or 4. And the other thing that you may not, like you just said, you're not doing is you're not marketing it. And I'm paying like $5,000 a month on Google pay-per-clicks to get inquiries. So you're not even marketing that. Imagine if you put $500 or something, you're gonna start. So now, you know, this is a good thing, because I can, we need to kind of figure out how. Oh yeah, so I'm paying another $750 a month to my web marketing guy to do. Web marketing means he developed all the SCI website, he developed the FTW website, and he can do more if I send him content. I'm not necessarily, this is part of the content, his videos. So he's going to put a blog and then now he's setting up the podcast. So I do have this team, which is not, I don't know if he's going to, he's probably going to listen to this. Okay. I'm working with him to be more efficient. So let's just say it this way, that you have a team, but then you do have to be able to point out what they can do better and things like that. And now, if you mention, I could find out, like if you mentioned where you would like to get help in the social media stuff, I could ask him to send us because he is cost effective, and I could ask him to give us a quote just for you, for Lea Marlene, and how much that would cost. And the fact that he's doing it, a lot of the videos that he's doing can be used for both of us, right? Like, I have no problem. I don't think you have any problem with us sharing the videos. If YouTube or Google tells us we can't do that, then we have, in a way, like the algorithms don't like
Well,
that.
we can't do the same video. Like we can't, what we'd have to do is like, either we produce this one and we put it out through FTW and then I share it on my site, but it won't be my video.
Oh,
And then vice versa. And we could
okay.
like But that does build leverage, and they all say that, like all the people I'm learning from say that. They're like, you cannot just have your own little channel. You have your channel, but then you, what do you call it? You collaborate with other channels. That's how you build the snowball effect.
You cross
Yes,
videos.
right.
Yeah, I've noticed that with what's Brene Brown, or is that her name? Brene Brown and this other famous woman, and they're promoting each other. And
Right.
they're a little bit competitors because they coach corporations, but there's so many corporations worldwide that they actually benefit by promoting each other. And then I spoke to the producer guy, and he said that he has some podcast people that are very popular, and he may help connect us with them to invite them. And now they're promoting FTW in their podcast, and we
Yeah.
promote them in our podcast.
But you can do like, but you can take the exact audio. So say we do, so say this Zoom recording was our YouTube and it was our podcast, right? We could upload it to YouTube as a video, but then if we're on Spotify or whatever we go through, iTunes or whatever we go through for a podcast, that's just audio. So you can take the exact audio and use it for the podcast and then also have a video of that podcast. So that's one way you can use the exact same content in two places without redoing it. You see what I'm saying?
But also that you can put it, if you have a blog, or I guess mostly, how do you promote? Well, I'll ask these questions to my guy and see how he would get your account specifically. So he basically he has an account and passwords for all my accounts, and I'm not uploading anything. They're doing all that. They're also opening the podcast, then they will open the app. But I want to do this when we have enough content. So we're running out of time, but basically I will focus on and I'm not completely satisfied with it yet, but it's also starting. So I'm hoping that we're going to get the flow of it, and that it's just a machine going, kind of like how I do LCI, my language school, where it's already set up with a good team, and everybody knows what they need to do. So we need to get to that point. In your case, look at the administrative side. Oh yeah, and again, I would love to keep talking about this, under these sessions, and I think new business owners that are looking at this recording can get some ideas. So it's part of the educational stuff that we want to do, right?
Yes.
And we can maybe mention that for entrepreneurs that are stuck, that maybe they have a good service, good quality, but they just can't scale it, and they can't. So in your case, you have one is the bottleneck administrative stuff, and the other one is to analyze your business, where we can get the maximum return. Especially me as FTW, you can say, well, okay, FTW, Mariano, I would like to commit this amount of hours per week, so I know you have that income, and then you would not need to do stuff that is more unreliable and maybe generates less income. Like you only have, let's say, 40 hours. If you probably dedicate more than 40 hours, but let's say you want to dedicate 40 to 50 hours, then you look at those hours and say, this one is giving me highest returns. This one, it's like I'm maybe making $20 an hour or something. And you start deciding, okay, I can't keep doing this, but I do have this that I may make 90, 100, hopefully 200. And then you have that I have passive income.
That's what I need. That's the thing that I have not had. And yeah, I decided not to raise my prices this year because I didn't want to get into a pick choose thing, but the main thing is I have had no passive income. So when I've reached a cap, there's no place to grow after that. And I go, it's okay, this isn't working, you know, because it's like, and also, even if I rose my prices, you can only raise your prices so high, like, you know, I mean, you can raise them to whatever, but you know what I mean? You don't
Well,
want,
if you end up being Tony Robbins, you know,
right.
he charges, yeah, but why not? But anyway, first we go step by step, right?
Yeah, step by
You
step.
have this amazing personality, energy that people will value. We just have to figure out how, again, maybe in our next session, you know, this is good because we're gonna focus on this first,
Mhm.
and then we bring up all the stuff that you can teach. But what's the point of talking about, like, even the eulogy, the emotional preparation? We're not even getting into that because we need to fix that part first, the house, and then we can, and even this is a good thing to promote, and people will hopefully find value. So we're out of time, but let's do that. I will think about this a little bit more. I will look at my web marketing guy. We do have the Friday session, which is a good practice. This person is Andre. He's very interesting story. He's very inspirational, and he's giving us his time. So we're going to talk. You know, you already have natural questions that you don't. You come up with natural questions even with your actors. Like yesterday, somebody's had a loved one die, and you took charge. You know, you helped them feel better with understanding their feelings, the color of their feelings, and things like that. But you know, we don't have to do a super preparation on Friday because he's helping us out. But we do need to be more ready when we have, you know, high level guests, and they want to be in a professional situation. So.
Well, and also I just think we want to be really clear, like maybe in our next session too, we can sit down and go. So we're very clear when people ask us, well, what are you up to? We're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this. We can offer you this, we can offer you that, we can offer you this. Like just very clear, simple, like 3 things that we're doing that we offer. Where can people participate? Where can people, because otherwise I think we have great ideas, but there's not a lot of clarity. And then people don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, so before we go, maybe you can think about how much time can you dedicate to FTW per week, but you know, and you look at the numbers. How much will FTW pay you? How much would this other, whatever you're dedicating time to, pay you? And then we can also negotiate that, but at some point you will need to stop doing things that are not as giving you as high as return, because you're going to be stuck in this financial. You can't hire people because you're not making enough money, but you're not making enough money because
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So we can analyze it even more. You know, like next session, but Friday no. And you came up with this Wednesday hour. If you have another free hour or FTW, and by the way, I didn't get your invoice. It wasn't included in the email. The Dropbox. I didn't see your invoice, but
oh, you didn't? But you got the Dropbox.
What?
You got the Dropbox?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll resend you the invoice. Yeah, no, this is good. This is good because it's helping me to filter, because I want to be able to use my gifts and talents and my expertise, because I know that's where I'm of highest service and most beneficial to everybody, including you and all the things we're working on.
And you know what you do when you have this administrative assistant? You just delegate. Say, hey, talk to FTW. You know, get the invoice, get them to pay. Talk to, like, you start delegating this stuff, and
Well,
Just
because they
start-
could even help to make phone call, like, okay, I want you to call this roster of students and talk to them, or draft an email about what we're doing with the circle, see who, because all that stuff takes time. That could be, the administrative assistant could help tremendously with stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll find, we'll send me that list, an email, and we'll look at Indeed. I can even have my people put an ad for it, and then, they send a whole bunch of resumes, and we can look at the resumes. And
okay.
then we explain, like, we may be working for Lea Marlene, but she's a partner, blah, blah, okay?
Okay. All right, great. Thank you, Mariano.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
All right, I'll
yeah,
see you
we'll get
later.
there. We'll get there.
Yeah, slowly but
Thanks.
surely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, bye.